Good morning, everyone. It is 9:30 a.m. on January 6th, 2025, and I'm super excited to kick off the year and the first Monday of the year with our live trading session here at TIP. And I am on the FinViz main screen page, so these numbers just started getting a little more volatile now that the markets are open. I see some laggers in the middle and then some gainers and gappers on the left here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start opening some of these interesting charts and we can talk through potential trades. Okay. Um, this was a big merger. I did see the news, RHE, it's Regional Health Properties. So we'll look at that in a second. As a good learning experience, but no need to jump into anything right away, as this is all simulated trading. Okay. So this is the profit and loss year to date, which is interesting because last year it reset all these positions. Okay, so this is a little new for me that it's carrying over from last year to this year in this simulator. That could have been due to the change in ownership. This is now a Schwab owned entity, this Thinkorswim software and brokerage that was I believe it was previously owned by TD, so I guess Schwab bought them out or something. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start from the top, the biggest gainers. Okay, so already up 43,000 on the year, which is great because I wasn't expecting to see anything. I was expecting to see these numbers at zero. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the first one, CRNC here. I know this was a big leading gapper in the morning. It was definitely on the top gainers. If you're in the course, then you know that you can just type in top gainers here. And TradingView is the first thing that comes up. So I'm just going to click on the top gainers and we can see um, actually what I really want is the pre-market movers. So pre-market gainers. That's going to show me what was up most pre-market today. Okay, so Fubo was up 201%. We can check out that chart too. Okay. Um, So we just start a new tab and go to Fubo TV. Okay, so it's gapped huge and now it's retracing the move a little bit. Okay, so we can watch to see where this bottoms. Looks like it's got some support right at 330 and we'll just continue to track that. Okay, so CRNC, this is ripping and roaring. This looks good for a trade. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this entire position, even though it's pretty much all profits because the price was at 477. Tough to say when I got in, but it was probably right at the end of November here in the second bullish candle. And I'm gonna wait for this to top out a little bit before I go ahead and take profits. So yeah, that's where we're at with that first position. QUBT is next on the radar. Go ahead and save some of these tabs that I opened previously. QUBT. Okay, this had a stellar year. This looks like it's bull flagging. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say bull flagging, go ahead and look at the patterns section of the course. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the course outline here. Um, And I just want to make sure I have the right file here. So that's not the right one. Trade Profit Accelerator. Okay. So if you go in the Trade Profit Accelerator course, you're going to see that in education and models, it's basically week 3 and week 4 in the course. Candlesticks is where I talk about the patterns. Okay. But to explain it briefly, you got a big run up and then some consolidation into what looks like a flag, sort of. Okay. So it's looking good still, QUBT. I'm gonna go ahead and just look at to see how big of a position it is. So 1,400 shares times 18 a share. Okay. So if I go to the trade challenge template in the trade toolkit, okay, I'm backtracking to look at the alert track record right now, but if we wanted to look to see what the position size was, we could go ahead and type in the symbol and the entry price. And you can see the number of shares is 556 at 10% position size. So that's 10 grand. And if we dropped it down to 20, it'd be 1,100 shares. Okay. So 25% is around the amount of shares we have. So that's $25,000 based on this account balance here. Okay. And I walk through this toolkit in the course too. So if you're not there yet, that's fine. Just know that that's later on in the course. So this is about a $25,000 position. I'm gonna go ahead and trim some profits, just like I'm gonna do with CRNC as soon as that tops out. So I'm just gonna sell 400 shares for now because it does look like it's still pretty bullish. And I'm gonna go ahead and make it a market order so it fills right away. So I'm taking 8,000 off the table. I think we're pretty fully invested. We have um, we have 38,000 to invest now in case we wanted to get into more positions here. So I'm going to go ahead and look back at CRNC for a second. So this is the first 5-minute candle that's a down candle, and it's up 35% today. So I'm going to go ahead and take profits on half CRNC and just to lock in those monster gains that I had from last year. Okay. And I'm also going to make this a market order, so we'll see what it fills at. I want to get out quick because it does look like it's dropping. 25.96 was the fill price. So, um, the position size, the position size is now 500 at $25 a share. So some rough math, it's a little over 10 grand, and you can see the buying power effect. Not sure exactly how they calculate this buying power effect. I think it has to do with their risk models in this simulator, but I'm assuming that this simulator buying power mimics the exact real market trading data that you would see. So this is the buying power effects. And just off first glance, I noticed that NVCR has a high buying power effect. So we have 1,000 shares at $30 a share. That's $30,000. So that's a huge position. So I'm going to go ahead and check out this chart here to see if this is worth holding into the week, right? Because I really want to look through the positions, make sure they're all good for the week. This looks pretty good, pretty tight range here. It's consolidating, but that's a monster position. I don't want that to be my biggest position. So I'm going to go ahead and close out a large portion of it. Um, we'll go ahead with 600 shares. Okay, so that's 18,000 that we're taking off the table just because it was too big of a position. So now we're back down to the buying power of 6,000. That's about a 10, $12,000 position, somewhere around there. So that's more appropriate as to the risk we want to take because it's not even like this is the best looking chart of the day, right? LAES is the next one, and I'm gonna try and go through these quick because I really didn't expect to see all these open positions. So LAES is up 11%. And from our trade price of 159 of last year, let's look back to see when it even was 159. So I guess I got in around December 11th with this position, or maybe even December 12th. So it hasn't even really been a month yet, and we got these monster gains. I think I took profit on this. I think it was a 10,000 share position, and I took 8,000 shares off the table, so that would have been huge, but now it's back down to an 8,000 or yeah, 18,000 because you got 2,000 shares times the mark of nine is 18,000. So I'm going to continue to take profits because these are pretty monster gains here. I'm going to take another 1,000 off the table at the market. So that's 1,000 shares, which is $9,000. So I just took that off the table. And that's affecting the available dollars that we have. So we got 58,000 to play with here now. And so for sake of time, I'm going to focus on the bigger positions here. Um, Rocket Labs, smaller position, AEHR. I do want to check on that. Oh, look at that. LAES just jumped like that. So this is something that I would normally buy into right now. And it's weird that I just sold out of it. Let's look at what the trade price was on that. So you can go to let's see the easiest way to do this. So if you did want to reset all the positions, you could do that here. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep these positions because that's good that it rolls into the new year. We have a good solid base to start off with. We're not starting on a clean slate here. So I am gonna go to these filled orders to just see the trade price here. That's the easiest. So the trade price was 319 and now it's already up to 394. Okay. So that's I like this move here. If I was trading real money, I would definitely be looking to buy LAES here. Um, AEH, but because we have 1,000 shares, it's $9,000 position. That's good for now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the next one. AEHR. This looks good too. I like the pattern. I like the look of it. So for brevity's sake, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the next one. PRCH didn't look like a huge position, but I'm gonna go ahead and look it out. So PRCH, let's see here. The trade price was 2 and now it's at 5. Looks like it's consolidating and it's got very low volume, but maybe that's because, yeah. So it's very low volume here. It doesn't look like it's about to move anywhere. But because it's a small position and we already have 60,000 on the sidelines here, I'm just going to go ahead and hold it. It's a $5,000 position. Tesla, the, the mark is 418. Okay, we can look at that. So it looks fine. It's right at the 20 period moving average. I'm gonna go to the screeners and see what's moving most today, just in case something is looking really good. STEM, okay, it's up 20% from the open. So that's from 14 minutes ago, it's up 20%. That's a pretty good move. It has the momentum here. Um, it's got the volume. It's high short float, so this could be a short squeezer. I'm gonna go ahead and just dip into this for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and check on it, okay? Because we have so much money on the sidelines. We're just gonna go ahead and uh, start getting some of that money back into the markets. So remember to go to trade and then active trader. I make that mistake sometimes. Okay. And so the ticker was STEM. So we're going to type in the ticker here and make sure it pulls up as the right company. 135, make sure the price is right. And I'm going to go ahead and dip in for 10,000. So it's a $13,000 position approximately. So it filled at 136. And we're just going to go ahead and keep tracking it, but it does look like it's good for now. QUBT looks great. JFAI, this was on the radar from being a leading gapper, okay? And now it's already up from 277 to 306 just in the last 15 minutes. It did pull back on this first 15-minute candle. So just in the last minute, it's been down a lot. So it just turned around. This is what a turnaround looks like. First red candle. So I'm not going to enter in this until I see consolidation and then candle over candle action, which is what the previous candle was, but I wasn't looking at it. So it does seem like it's got some support at the $3 range. I do like the way this bounce looks in this one, two, three, fourth 5 minute candle. So now that it's regaining a little bit, I'm more interested. I don't think I'm in this already. So sure, maybe we'll just get in this for a small trade just to track it so that we don't have to keep looking at that chart. So I'm going to go to the next one. So I'm in that. See, the fill price was 323, and that's about what the market price is. It's nice that now the simulator is in real time. Previously, in years past, it was 20 minutes behind. And I think I even say that when I was recording Trade Profit Accelerator because that was the case at the time. But now the simulator is even in real time, so we can see these numbers in real time. Rocket Lab. So just looking at the trade price and the mark, it's up 50%. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to hold that. SGMT is also up about 25%, so that's good. CMRX, it's higher. So at first glance, I'm gonna just continue to hold these that have appreciated a little bit in the short time that we've been holding them. Okay. And then right in the middle here, we have a few smaller positions that we're monitoring here. Okay. CLSK. I'm gonna pull up this chart here because of some recent news that I've seen. Okay, so GFAI, you can see that now it's breaking out again. So that was just a temporary pullback there, and has fully recovered. That looks great, GFAI. So just in the last minute or so, we can see we're up a couple $100. Okay. Um, CLSK would be the next one. CLSK. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of GFAI because we're already in that position. This looks great, actually. Um, the daily chart doesn't look as good as the 15-minute chart. So this is really a inflection point here. If it can cross over these moving averages, then I would be much more confident in this trade. It has seen a huge decline from a high of 18 in November to now 9. So it basically got cut in half in the last 2 months, which is definitely scary if you're an investor and you're holding it. So let's see what the trade price was. The trade price was 10. Okay, so we got into it either before the run up, maybe early November, or more recently. I don't really remember. And because I can't pull up the ticker transactions, I don't really know when I got in this. But for now, I'm just going to continue to hold. Pure looks like it's about where we bought it at. And So SGMO is we're holding 4,000 shares of Sangamo, and that's our biggest loser right now. Um, and it's definitely from this big drop. We probably let's look at the trade price. Okay, so it's at 233 average, and that makes me think we bought it somewhere around here in November, December area. And so it's basically got cut in half from there. And normally I would say to set closing orders, maybe an OCO bracket order where you can set a target and a stop. Um, and I'm just going to pull this up to show you what it looks like so you can see it firsthand. So this would be your target and then your stop. But because of how the chart looks and because it got cut in half, I'm just going to exit this position completely. Okay, we're down $4,000. Wasn't a huge position. We were in for 10, about 9 or 10,000. Okay, and now we're down 4,000. So it's basically 40%. So I'm going to go ahead and close that position completely because I don't want to look at those losses anymore, right? The next biggest loser, and there it goes up 136. So the next biggest loser was IBRX. We're down 2,500. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that chart too. IBRX. Oop, that in wrong. So this looks pretty horrendous. I'm going to go ahead and exit this completely to cut our losses, right? Cut losses fast and early, especially if the trade starts going against you right away. I've made this mistake a lot of times. I just think, oh, maybe I was too early or it'll turn around. And if it starts going against you right away, just get out. It- There's no sense in holding something that's losing value every minute you hold it, right? So the next one is comp, and this doesn't look great either. So I'm going to go ahead and exit. I don't like that space either. And BTBT, I've seen that chart before, and because of the mark and where I'm at, I can already tell I'm down 20%. So I'm going to go ahead and close that position too at the market just to clean up our positions here a little bit. So we can we can manage these positions in a half an hour next week, right? This is getting to be a lot. MD. I was really hopeful for this company. This had a breakout week, and I can already tell it was right here where we really thought it was going to rip November 1st. It was our trade alert, and it just ended up dying out. It doesn't really look good. You do see candle over candle action. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep holding a little bit of it, 300 shares. Okay, so it's already a really small position. I probably cut losses from most of the position that we held in the simulator, but CDXC is the next one. Chromadex. This also doesn't look very good. I'm gonna go ahead and just exit out of this position completely because we're already tracking too many positions for next week. And so we got one, two, three, four. Rocket Lab, KLB. This looks great. So that's exactly what you want to see. This is a high though, and because of the management here, I'm just going to go ahead and close out some of these smaller positions because we just can't track all these positions at once. So that's the main reason why I'm going to sell Rocket Lab right now is just to try and get some of these positions off the management sheet. If I had more time, I would consider holding, but I don't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close out. a lot of these positions. TRVI. Let's look at that chart real quick. Yeah, so this is a good exit here. Um, we were about even on it, but it does look like this could be a big down day. There might be some support here, but we're just going to stop tracking it completely. Let's start to go back to some of the tickers we're tracking here. Okay, so STEM, it's been 10 minutes and let's go to STEM here. STEM, we're up 1,600 bucks in 10 minutes. So that's a big move. Good move. Nice little day trade that we banked here in real time live. And I'm going to check back in a few minutes right before 10. I'm going to let that run a little bit. But because I'm not trying to hold that over, not trying to hold a huge position overnight here or until next Monday, because I'm not even going to look in this simulator until next Monday. I'm going to probably close out most of the stem position, let it run for a few more minutes here and continue to clean this up. Okay. Netflix, it's such a small position. It's such a big company that I'm just gonna go ahead and close it. It's not gonna be a big mover in 1 week, most likely. It was 17,000 buying power. Okay. So we took that off the table and for similar reasons, just to clean up stuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell MD. It doesn't look like it's even close to one of the best looking stocks, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Same with NVCR. It's just too many positions to manage here because we're already at the 30-minute mark. So just selling the losers because it's less to track. And Joe, it's almost not a big position, and we're pretty much unch on it. So and continue to close these out. Same with HIMX. It just hasn't been moving much and it's too much to track. Cure, same thing. And so let's see how many positions. One, two, three, four, five. Same thing. It's just not moving much and it's too much to track. Doesn't look like one of the best gainers. So normally I try and find 5 stocks to buy and then um, narrow down to the best looking one on Friday and buy that one. And I try and at least buy one stock a week on Friday. Stem's continuing to run. I love the looks of that. Oh man, I missed out on a great trade because I was teaching this training here. But it's in the simulator now and we're tracking it. And ARVE. This would be more of a day trade, massive volume here. It does look like this could rip higher, but because we're nearing the 10 a.m. mark and we're wrapping up this training session here, I'm gonna go ahead and take some profits from STEM. I'm gonna hold some of the position to see where it ends up next Monday, but I'm gonna sell most of it. Okay. Um, Oh, that pulled back a lot in the last minute. Oh, we just missed the top there. Okay. So I'm gonna sell that at the market and we'll see what we get for that. 149. Wow. So in the last minute we were looking at it. In the last 60 seconds, it was down from 170 to 150. So if we go in the trade template, this will be the last thing I do. Let's say the trade price was 170, right? Your stop so it was pretty much down 15% in the last minute. So that's a huge down move. So it probably did top out. This is a good shooting star candle right here. That is reminiscent of what a top out would look like. So it's a good thing to end the training on, and it's 10 a.m. now. So these sessions are only supposed to be a half hour. I'm going to stick to that because I do value my time a lot. But in the first week, first 6 days of the year, we're up 45,000. So that's not a Not a bad start to the year. We closed out 10 positions and we have about 10 open. So I will see you all next Monday. If you are interested in a question and answer session, those are the Thursday night mastermind meetings. Okay. If you bought into the course, you should have links to that in the original email, that welcome email that you get. Okay, so look back at that for the question and answers on Thursday. I will see you on Thursday, and if you don't have any questions, then I will see you next Monday. Okay, see you then. Thanks for joining.